We're now joined with head coach Neal Brown of Troy. If you have a question for Coach Brown, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions at this time. Again, that's star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Troy is coming off of a three-overtime loss against Appalachian State, a 44-41 score, and now prepares for a home game against Louisiana Monroe. That game will take place at Veterans Memorial Stadium at 2:30 p.m. Central Time and will be televised on ESPN3. Coach Brown, before we get started with questions, why don't you give us your thoughts on last week's game against Appalachian State and this week's upcoming game against Louisiana Monroe?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day. Tough emotional loss on Saturday in Boone. I was proud of our kids. I thought our coaches did a great job getting our guys prepared. We had a good plan in all three phases and played good enough to win the game. App is they're the best team we've played in the league. I know the league's probably on how the game goes Thursday will determine probably who the champion's going to be. But they're a really good football team, top 20 offense in the country. They had the number 7 defense in the country coming into the game, and thought we did some really good things. And we're a little beat up now. We had tough travel. We went as far west to Las Cruces and as far east to Boone in 2 weeks. So we're looking forward to coming back home. We have Monroe. Monroe's had Troy's number over the last few years, and Monroe is in a very similar situation than we are. We're both teams that are struggling and looking for wins, so it should be a good matchup on Saturday afternoon.
Thank you very much, Coach Brown. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions at this time. Coach, I just want to ask you about your offense on Saturday. 310 yards passing, 140 yards rushing. You put up a lot of yards in both categories against again, like you mentioned, a very good defense coming into the game. But for you, what was really the key from your angle? What did you see that your team did well, specifically on offense, that was able to give you so much success through the air and running?
Well, that's 2 weeks in a row we've played good offensive football, and the first thing is our quarterback's healthy. When we have not played very good offensively, it's when he hasn't played. But App's very good. They're very good on defense, and I think we put up the most yards and tied for the most points they've given up all year. I think they'd only given up 43 points in their 6 previous games against a group of 5 teams, and we were able to put up 41. So, and we're getting better. And like I said, a lot of it's tied to our quarterback. He's a good player. He's throwing the ball real well. We're getting more consistent play out of our offensive line and receivers. So I think those are the main reasons why. Now we just got to put some games together. I think we're capable. I think we scored 93 points, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 2 weeks, and I feel like that we're capable of finishing the year off strong.
And 2 critical plays in that game were, the first drive when Brandon had his pass tipped and returned for a touchdown, but then late in the game, he led an 11-play drive to tie the game and to send it to overtime. Do you look at kind of bouncing back from that interception and then that last drive as him maybe building some confidence now going forward as you continue down the stretch run of your season?
Well, he's maturing. He threw 2 picks. The first one was just a great player by the kid at App. He's as good a defensive lineman as there is in our league. He just made a great play. It wasn't a bad decision. It wasn't a bad throw. There was nothing negative about it. And he just made a great play, and that happens sometimes when you're playing against really good people. And then the encouraging thing to me about Brandon, and he threw a second pick also that was a really bad decision. That was a bad decision on him. But in both instances, he bounced back and led scoring drives on the next possession. So I think he's maturing. He's growing up. And like I said, he's got the ability to be one of the best quarterbacks in our league. He's got the ability to be as good as some of the other kids that we've had here when we were winning a lot of games. So that was, I think it's a sign of our team growing up too. Is a lot of times in the past, when something bad happened right out the gate on the road, this team's diaper may have got down, and we responded really well, and hard fought loss on the road.
And finally, Coach, just want to ask you about Louisiana Monroe coming up. You play them on Saturday. With their team, they've had a lot of injuries this year, but it looks like they had a Jalen Holly back this week, and now looking forward to having Rashawn Caesar back for this week. What problems do they present offensively, specifically for your team when you go look at this game?
Well, they're totally different than anybody we played this year. They're a team they use a lot of unbalanced formations. They're an empty personnel a lot. They depend on their quarterback to make plays, and they're talented at wideout. And we're not real deep in the secondary, so we haven't really played a team, maybe other than New Mexico State, that's a pass team first, and Monroe is definitely a team that's pass first. So it's going to be a unique challenge, something we haven't faced all year.
All right, Coach, that's all the questions we have for you this morning. We appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. As a reminder, we will be back here shortly with head coach Paul Petrino of Idaho. Please stand by.